Welcome to the Home Construction Tool Channel. Today we're looking at my bucket that I modified for this Kubota. This is a rental, so I'm not going to show you where it came from, but I bought this used bucket from my rental yard, this one right here, and you can see I cut off approximately 7 inches off about a 16-inch bucket. You can see where the old holes were for the teeth. And basically I didn't, down and dirty, I cut it with a torch. I was going to cut it with the cut-off wheels, but that was going to take too long, so cut it with the torch. I didn't mess around too much with grinding it really clean and perfect, but I used a 60-10, used my Maxstar 140 on 220 volt, cranked all the way up and never missed a beat. Never slowed down with the 6011 is what I used mostly. But anyways, today mostly I'm going to be, I didn't realize I was going to need a hook, so I'm going to put probably at least one hook, probably 2 hooks. Because I have a big fat 3/8 chain, and it's about a mile long, and every time I try and use it I have to wrap the whole chain around a bunch of times, and so I'm going to probably put the 5/16 over here and the 3/8 here, and I'm going to just do what the other guys are doing. They're going to make a nice slice right through here and make a nice wedge so that sits on something. I may have probably will put a pad, some sort of a heavy pad, because you can see the thickness here on the bucket really is just, it's pretty thin plate. I wouldn't even say it's not sheet metal, but it's probably pretty thin plate. All the strength comes from the sides, and I was a little nervous about how much, if it was going to stay together, and it stayed together fine. The reason why I did all this is basically I got rocks and rocks and more rocks, and I knew the rental company only was going to give me that 16-inch bucket, which is not going to, I wasn't going to get very much power digging into rocks. So you can see all these loose rocks are they're just everywhere. And I have to do some drainage, and I have to do some underground for electrical and gas work, just electrical work. And that's it. I'll do. So I'm not going to get down into the how to weld part. And this is for my personal stuff. I'm not trying to tell you how to do your stuff. I did find that bucket at a rental yard for $200. It's got us. You can see that there's a big gap here and a big gap here, and I just put some spacers in, and I was going to thread this hole so I could get the proper thread to hold these pins, but I just went ahead and down and dirty just put a bolt in with a washer, carriage bolt in the back with a washer, and it seems to be working great. The pin size is perfect, so it is a Kubota bucket. It's just from another series or another style or who knows what, but down and dirty, just burn the holes in the what was left of my cutting edge and bolted back on my teeth. I know it's awfully dark up in there, but it's all welded up in there, and just a little fun project. But I knew I needed it, so I finally got around to doing it. And I'll probably cut another piece eventually for a shackle, and I happen to have this, and I'll weld this on somewhere so I can have a shackle, and it'll just be somewhere right up in here. And I've seen hooks inside the bucket. People put them right inside the bucket, and they are out of the way. I kind of like that one too. Anyways, we'll show you when it's done. Home Construction Tool Channel here, doing a follow-up which will just be added to the other video on the U17. It's a rental, so I'm not going to show you where I rented it from. But you see, I welded up this bucket. It's done really well. I used, I'm pretty sure it was 6011, and for a second there I thought I had a crack in here, but that was just where I didn't chip none of the slag off. This is about getting the work done. It isn't about how pretty the bucket is, and I'm not going to put no paint on it, nothing like that. It's worked out really well. You can see there's rocks pretty much everywhere, hard pan and rocks, and also those all those roots. And I believe they're from this palm tree right here, and there's a whole layer of them, and they just basically stop you. So anyways, I did put that on. I'm using a flashlight here because I welded a big pad. I think it was about a 1/4 inch plate, and I fitted it on there, wrapped it around, hammer tacked it, welded it, and then welded it solid. I have two welds right there in the middle where I drilled holes, so I have 2 plug welds holding as well, so not just the perimeter, I have plug welds holding that plate. I know the hook doesn't look pretty, but it is 100% welded, wrapped. Never had a problem. Lifted quite a few heavy pieces to get in the dumpster of old concrete. This was a secondhand bucket I bought for $200 at an equipment rental, not where I rented this. And anyways, about the U17, what I didn't like about it was that bar right up there where it's like a handle. I already knocked myself 3 times with it in the course of a week, so I finally, a few minutes ago, put that foam rubber on the handle. So it just seems like the center here is not center, it's to the right, so you're always looking over your left, which means you're closer to that bar, and you knock yourself when you put any kind of tension, and it lets go on you for some reason, like where you're not centered on your blade here, or something pops, a rock, whatever. But I had a lot of good luck with this bucket. I know that the other bucket would not have worked here because it's just too wide, too many rocks and too hard of dirt. So as far as being down and dirty, that's all it was. Right there, 100% welded. I actually am a welder, so it wasn't that hard. I probably would have wanted to keep these teeth out at the tip. I should have poked them out just a little bit more. I kind of kept them flush with the edge. I should have poked them out just a smidge more. And that's it. And the U17 is a really good machine. It's really good. If I was going to buy something, I'd buy something like this. Eight-inch wide bucket, 18-inch wide bucket. Just use bolts over here to hold the pins on. Wanted to tap them, but that didn't happen. I did use spacers in here when I welded to keep the dimension exact. So just cut 2 quick pieces of pipe and all threaded and made them real snug, and it didn't even matter because there was such a big gap anyways. But they are straight. Alright, that's it. Home Construction Tool Channel. You can do stuff yourself.